it's pretty clear from the start what this question wants from us, right? They're asking for us to, they're giving us a system and we're looking for the point that satisfies the system. So this is a point of intersection question. And these are some of the most algebraic questions we'll see on an SAT, meaning that there's not usually a shortcut. Sometimes we can guess and check if we are given answer choices, not really here. Sometimes there's a neat little way that the equations will combine that gives us a kind of a shortcut. Not here either. So we're going to just need to show our work and be really careful as we go through. So there are many ways that we can solve point of intersections. Sometimes we do that thing where we like multiply an equation by a certain number to cancel something out. That is not going to work here because we have to deal with an x squared, and so it's going to cause some problems for us. So what we really want to do instead is substitution. The fact that both of these equations are set equal to y is really convenient because that means that since the y's will be equal at whatever the point of intersection is, we can set these two equations equal to each other. So that means that 4 minus x is equal to x squared minus 4x plus 4. And whenever I have an equation with an x squared, generally what I want to do is get everything on the same side of the equation. So I want to make it equal to 0. So let's get rid of some of these pieces over here. So that's subtracting 4 and adding x, subtracting 4 and adding x. Right? So that gets rid of all this, leaves me with 0, x squared minus 3x, and this cancels out too, right? Plus 4 minus 4. So we still do what we always do, even though we're kind of missing this third piece of the quadratic. We still factor. And in order to factor, we need to make sure that we're looking for a GCF. This is something we're always supposed to check for when we start factoring, but normally there isn't one, so we kind of ignore the step without even realizing it. So we're looking for the biggest number that divides evenly into both of these pieces. And so there's no number, but x divides evenly. So if we were to GCF this thing, we would end up with x times x minus 3. And if you're confused where that came from, remember, factoring is really just reversing a distribution process, right? So if we were to distribute that x to both the parts, we'd end up where we started, right? X times x is x squared, x times negative 3 is negative 3x. And what that gives us then is, remember, what we're looking for is we're looking for both of these parts to be equal to 0. And so 0 then is one way that it could equal 0, and then if we added 3, we would get that x could also be 3. And so they just want one possible value, so these are both valid answers. There's nothing that tells us we need to pick one or the other, and generally speaking, when we see that word possible in a grid in question, it means that you're going to need to make a choice at some point. And so don't be scared if you get multiple answers. Like that's part of the question. The other way to do this, and this is just because of good luck, you could guess and check here if you're really clever, right? You could say, well, let me pick an easy number and see if it works, right? Let me try some simple numbers and see what I get, right? So if I had picked that x is 0 from the start just out of laziness, then that would mean right here, y is equal to 4 minus 0, which is 4. And then I could try these points in here and see, does it work there as well? So that would be 4 is equal to 0 squared minus 4 times 0 plus 4. Yeah, 0 minus 0 plus 4 is 4. So there, we've just proven that a possible value of x is 0. I think that that's just good luck. I wouldn't count on that happening, but it's one of those cases where, if you're not great at algebra, sometimes you can just kind of brute force the answer by taking some risks, trying some things, and you'd be surprised how often it just kind of magically works out. But you really should know this algebra. It's very likely that you will see not just 1, but 2 or 3 point of intersection questions on a test. So it's something that can add up to some real points, and it just is, usually pure algebra skill. So study this. You can practice this on Khan Academy very easily. It's basic algebra.